Welcome to Run With It, BC's only running, fitness and health show. On this episode, we were in conversation with Canadian Olympian race walker Evan Dunphy. Plus, we're in conversation with registered dietitian Gloria Sang, who shares some healthy eating tips. And coming up later in the show, we talk to Shaw TV personality Fiona Forbes on her experience running the Honolulu Marathon. But first, let's go to a race report on the Vancouver East Side 10K. Check this out. Despite the rain, over 2,300 runners took part in the 4th annual Vancouver East Side 10K last month, a popular 10K event for all levels of abilities, and money raised went to charities such as to the Downtown East Side Women's Centre. Can we talk a little bit about the charities involved?
Yeah, we had the Downtown Eastside Women's Center, Breakfast Club of Canada, Greater Vancouver Food Bank, and Watari Support and Counseling. Sorry, when there's 4, I get a little bundled, but all embedded in the community and part of the community, and that's really what we want to be with the Eastside.
Okay, thank you very much, Cliff.
You're welcome.
Eric, congratulations on your... How did you feel today, I should ask?
Felt smooth out there. Despite the wet conditions, I kept traction, and it was a good effort.
So you're happy with that? And also I want to congratulate you for placing 10th in the Rio Olympics. That's so awesome.
Thank you. It was a career highlight. Everything clicked on the day. Felt good. Got the most of my training and was able to execute well in Rio when it mattered.
Wonderful. Thank you. With me in the studio is Gloria Sang, who is a dietitian and founder of nutrition network Health Castle. Gloria is here today to share some tips on how to maintain your healthy eating habits, especially during the colder months. Welcome back, Gloria.
Happy to be back.
Oatmeal keeps me warm, especially during the colder months, as I said. So runners, it's good for runners to eat oatmeal, especially when you're training for a marathon.
Absolutely, it gives you sustained energy. We do need the carbohydrate to keep us going for longer run, and oatmeal, because of the specific fiber and carbohydrate content, it gives us that sustained energy we need. But most people have some problem with oatmeal. Either, first, they don't love eating it every day, or 2, they just found that it's too long to cook in the morning.
So what are some ways to make it interesting?
Well, I brought along today some instant oatmeal. Now, don't we all heard about instant oatmeal being bad because it has too much sugar? But I found instant oatmeal like this one actually has no sugar added and is actually gluten-free certified. And it also has some type of other protein like flax seeds and other grains like quinoa to go along with it. So it has the protein and the fiber to goes along with the oatmeal. So it's a perfect instant breakfast for the morning.
And you can add fruit. Berries make it very
sweet. Absolutely.
Yes.
You can sweeten it yourself with dry berries or cranberries, which is my favorite, or just add some more protein like nuts and seeds.
That's wonderful. Now, I like the instant oatmeal. It's only 1 minute, right? And I put brown sugar. Is that considered healthy?
Absolutely. I mean, why not? When you sweeten it yourself, you don't generally sweeten with 3-4 teaspoons of sugar, unlike the instant oatmeal. So I always say, if you want it to be sweetened, then sweeten it yourself. Or like quick oatmeal like this one. It could have many names, like quick oats, 1 minute oat. Seriously, it only takes at most 2 minutes in microwave to cook it. So either instant or quick oat is still very quick for a breakfast, quick breakfast.
Quick breakfast, and it's gluten-free. So if you're worried about, if it's gluten-free, it's organic, it's instant and all that, you just have to read the labels. And
the oatmeal itself is gluten-free, but because oatmeal usually is processed in other facility that may process wheat. So if you're actually going on a gluten-free diet, you need to look for certified gluten-free oatmeal products.
Okay. Now we talked a little bit about that.
The 1 minute oatmeal, so that's really quick. Now for people who actually don't like oatmeal, there are lots of people that say, well, I know the benefits of oatmeal, I know I need to eat more, but I just don't want to eat oatmeal every morning. There are other oats products available that are a little bit more crunchier, not as soggy as oatmeal. So I brought along some granola. So you can see that granola has been toasted. So it's kind of like a snack. You could eat it in milk just like Cold cereal, or you can just eat it as is.
Oh, wonderful. And what's your favorite?
Well, my favorite and my kids' favorites is actually this one. It's also toasted oatmeal. It has some chocolate in it, so my kids love it as after-school snacks, and some coconut, natural coconut sweetened with it. So there are lots of products available that are generally more healthier than sweetened candies.
Exactly. And the next one after, what's...
Now this is muesli, Swiss oatmeal. Basically, you can see from the packaging that it has not been toasted. So it is oatmeal. Oatmeal itself can be eaten raw, so you don't really need to cook it. You could actually eat it raw. So what do people use with muesli is they make it like overnight oats. So what they do is they mix it with milk or soy milk or almond milk, put it in the fridge overnight, and the next day is all softened, so you could have the oatmeal texture without cooking it.
You can prep before before the race, actually.
Absolutely. I usually do 3 servings at a time, so I just measure everything up. So then in the morning, I have no time to cook. I just bring my muesli out, and I can have an oatmeal breakfast.
Wow, so you can add milk. Here you can add milk or just eat it as is.
Absolutely. Or add milk the night before and prepare it.
So there you have it. Really great ways to enjoy oatmeal. And you should eat it 2 hours before before running?
Absolutely. For running, eat 2 hours prior to practice or running time.
Good information. Well, I want to thank you very much, Gloria, for coming on the show. I'd like to have you come back, and we'll be right back after this break. Joining me is Shaw TV personality Fiona Forbes, and she's here today to talk about how she stays fit. Welcome to the show, Fiona.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, tell us about running. I understand you run.
I do run. I actually started running, it was in the year 2001, I guess. Michael Eckford, who used to be my co-host on Shaw TV, actually dared me to run the Honolulu Marathon, and I had never run anywhere in my life since maybe a relay in grade 7, and our bosses at Shaw were sponsoring us for the Arthritis Society, and he had arranged that in advance, and I never say no to a dare, so I said yes to the full marathon. And in the process of the training and doing the marathon itself, I discovered I actually love running, and I've been doing it ever since. Well, they start the Honolulu Marathon at 3 a.m. on purpose because the pavement heats up, which I had never experienced running because I'd never run. And there were 14-mile headwinds. For anybody that runs will know that that actually makes it so much more difficult. But I finished, and really that was my sole purpose, was finishing. I didn't care about my time. It was getting across that finish line, and I did it. And I probably will never do a full marathon again, but it was a bucket list experience, and I loved it. Crossing the finish line, I will actually never forget it because I met 2 women along the way, actually along the marathon route, because I was having a hard time. I didn't know, but my arch had fallen in my foot. Another girl, her knee was blown out, and then Simi Sarah from CKNW, who people might know, she was going, we ran into her at the 14-miler, and we decided the 3 of us, no matter what, if we had to carry each other, we were going to get across the line together as a team, and that got us across. So it was a pretty magical moment for all 3 of us. When I'm in good running shape, I try and do 20K per week, whether that's split up into really small runs. Oftentimes my goal is 5K, and from my house down to the Vancouver Yacht Club and back is exactly about 5K, so that's what I usually do. For me, the thing I love the most about it, aside from the exercise benefits, is that, your phone is off. I always run with music. Some people don't like to, but I've got to have my running mix. And it's the time of the day where I actually tune out of all the noise of life, and I am focused on getting one foot in front of the other. Well, for me, I never thought that I was the right type of person to run. I don't consider myself athletic. Maybe I thought that I wasn't good enough to run physically, but because of the training that the Arthritis Society supplied for the marathon that I did, it was with a group, with a trainer, and they gave you a schedule of how to start running, whether it's a walk, run sort of thing. And it was just the first time putting my shoes on and getting out there. And I did start with, I think it was maybe 3 minutes running and 1 minute walking. 1K, 2K, anybody can do it. For running gear, as far as clothes go, I am partial to Lululemon. I know a lot of people don't love their stuff, but I do. And again, it comes to getting the right fit. I am so retentive when it comes to leaving the house with my running stuff. I have to have the right things to wear so that I'm comfortable, because as everybody knows who runs, if you're not comfortable, whether it's your feet or something else, you're not going to enjoy your run.
And Fiona, what do you like to eat before a run?
I don't usually like to eat before a run because I find that can make me feel too full or uncomfortable, or as you can get cramps as well. But I love to do, and it has to be for me, about an hour before my run. I'm a big supporter of local companies, and one of those is Vega. It happens to be vegan if people are vegan. It's a powder that you can make an excellent, you can get the protein kind, or you can get, I think I get the Greens Plus. I can't remember what Vega 1 is what I use, but it's got tons of vitamins and stuff in it. I'll make it with some coconut milk, unsweetened, maybe a little bit of frozen fruit, because I like it to be nice and cold and refreshing, and also a little bit of coconut oil sometimes, but that's what I like to have about an hour before. And then, you know what, I ran my fastest 10K after having one of those smoothies, so I swear by it.
That's great. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show, and maybe next time you can bring Chewy.
Oh, I will. He hates running.
Maybe you'll teach him.
Some dogs run with their owners. Chewy thinks it's tag, and he starts running around me. It's not good.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Joining me in the studio today is a very special guest, Olympian Evan Dunphy. Evan has represented Canada over 20 times as a race walker in his 10 years on the national team. Evan's race walking journey began when he was just 11 years old, and this summer he placed 10th in the 20K race walk at the Rio Olympics, and a stunning 4th place finish in the 50K walk, which captured the hearts of Canadians when he showed true Canadian spirit with his sportsmanship, an unwillingness to protest for a medal that he didn't feel would have been fairly earned. Welcome to the show, Evan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You know, I want to just talk firstly about what inspired you to become a race walker at 11 years old.
Yeah, so I began running track and field when I was 9. My elementary school that I was at was doing a lunchtime popsicle stick run, where you sort of run a lap of the field and get a popsicle stick and you just do that, try to gather as many popsicle sticks as you can, and I was just infatuated by that from the get-go. It just became it triggered something in little 9-year-old Evan that became obsessed with it, and quickly found out I was quite good at running for a very long time, and joined a track club, and some circumstances led to my brother starting to race walk, and then he was an older brother, and I thought, well, if he can do it, it can't be very hard. Yeah. And so he showed me the ropes, entered my first race. Kid in the start line told me, oh, I told him I wanted to break 5 minutes for 800 meters, and he said, you'll never do that in your first try. And I beat him, and I walked 4:58 or something like that, and got a nice gold medal, and I just thought, yeah, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
That's amazing. Now, Evan, I have to ask you, in like the Sun Run 10K, how fast can you walk?
Yeah, so this year I walked a 10K in 39:20. So 39 minutes and 20 seconds, and that was in the evening after having done a 40K training session in the morning.
Oh my goodness. And so let's talk about your 50K walk, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And can you tell us a little bit what happened?
Yeah, so 50K walk, longest foot race in the Olympics. I went into it ranked 11th. And I knew I was in very good shape. My training had been going very well. I was in Europe for the summer training at altitude in St. Moritz in Switzerland. And so I knew I was fit, and I knew I was ready for a big breakthrough, and I told myself I was just going to put myself in that lead group and see what happens. And lo and behold, that lead group sort of dwindled down to about 10 people very early on, and I thought, okay, well, if I can come last of this group, I'll still improve upon my ranking. So it was, I had nothing to lose at that point, and I went to the front of the race at about 25K, so very early on in in terms of, we like to say that the race doesn't start until 35K. So might have been a little overzealous in my first Olympics and thought I could, take it to these big guys, and went off the front and forged a bit of a lead, and around 40K they reeled me back in and overtook me and put me back into 4th place. And I sort of gave it, I dropped at one point 12 to 15 seconds behind the 3rd place guy, and I just looked at I had so many family and friends there watching the race, and I looked at them at one point and just thought, I need to give this one last big effort, even if it kills me, to try to get that guy up ahead, and do it for them that have been so supportive of me over my entire career. And so I put my head down and I went for it, and I absolutely killed myself to catch up to the Japanese guy who was sitting in 3rd place. And somehow I managed to catch him, and I passed him. I passed him about 49K, so 1K left to go in the race.
Wow.
And he responded, and we sort of got tangled up, and we bumped elbows and got tripped up a little bit, and it just completely broke my focus, and couldn't recover from it. And he went on to win bronze, and then I crossed the line in 4th place. And then after the race, they took a look at the video and decided to disqualify the Japanese athlete. So I was then bumped up into 3rd place. All this is going on while I'm in the medical tent trying to recover from the race, and unbeknownst to me. So then we found out, so I found this out, and it was kind of like, I didn't really know how I felt, didn't really remember what had happened, so didn't want to make a decision at that point. And the Japanese had appealed that decision, and we learned several hours later that the Japanese appeal had been successful, and he was bumped back into 3rd place, and I was bumped down to 4th. And I was given the option to further appeal that appeal to a higher court. And once I got back to the village and looked at the video and reviewed the situation, it just, to me, I saw nothing that wasn't part of our event, and I elected not to pursue any further, and ended the matter there.
And you feel good? There's no regrets?
I haven't once regretted that decision, which was something that I knew when I made that decision, that it was going to be the decision that I'd be able to live with for the rest of my life, and so far, so true.
Good for you, Evan. And I'd like to have you come back on the show, and I want to thank you very much for coming, and
fantastic.
All the best to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we'll be right back after this break. Joining me in studio is international recording artist Biff Naked. She is a breast cancer survivor, humanitarian, and now an author. Biff has been on our show to talk about her fitness program and how she maintains a healthy lifestyle. She's back here to talk about her recently released self-titled memoir. Welcome to the show, Biff.
Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Well, trying to finish a book, did you have time to maintain a healthy lifestyle?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I don't know how most people write books. I mean, I think that by the time people are ready to write a memoir, they usually have a busy family or they have another job, they have to juggle it. For me, I had to wait till the whole house was sleeping until I could sit down and really concentrate to write. And then the hardest part was the editing process, when I would have to go back and re-examine, either cut short or do some rewrites or clarify, and that was very time-consuming and stressful. I literally had to leave the country to be able to get it all accomplished.
Yeah, so what did it feel like when it actually was published on April 19th?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. I mean, it's quite remarkable that it was all assembled, and they did so many things, like just the stuff that I would never have thought of, like the paper stock that they chose, and they printed a lotus on the spine of the book. You know, it was like a surprise. It was like finding finding like a wayward chocolate bar. It was just so, I just love working with them. So it's been really serendipity.
Yes, and what is the message that you would like people to get from your book or from memoir?
Honestly, I think everyone's story is the same. I think that basically by the time we're all 40, we've all had to deal with loss, hardship, misadventure, family issues, different health crises. I think that we're all really the same. I don't think my story is all that different from anyone else's, but hopefully I can make them laugh, if they reflect on their own life or journey, and they can laugh thinking of how asinine I was. how crazy it was.
I read you have, a very close relationship with your mom, and you would tell her everything.
Poor woman. The poor woman. She didn't ask me to tell her everything. I just did.
And that's a wonderful relationship. You talk about in the book, not giving too much information, but your drug abuse, your cancer.
Mm-hmm. It's a story. And again, I think everyone has probably been through it, but I'm really lucky that I was able to kind of, transcend many of those different things. I think that we're all growing through life, regardless of which direction our journey takes and what comes our way. I think that we're all basically doing the same thing, trying to evolve and get through challenges and hopefully learn something and blossom at the same time.
And it's a relief. It's published. And are there any regrets from anything you wrote in the book?
No. Yeah, probably. Honestly, I probably was too nice. That's the one thing I've been told. I was way too nice. Yeah, but that's okay. That's, a woman's got to have secrets, I suppose. But I'm happy with everything that we worked on.
Well, you're inspiring. And what has been the feedback been like?
I've been lucky. I mean, it's been really positive. People have responded very positively to some of the stories. When I was a runaway, when I was a teenager, and there was a lot of misadventure. Maybe perhaps it might be a bit of a utopian view for some people on what it would be like to be a runaway, but that was just my experience. I was very lucky to be able to go back home, and so a lot of teenagers are not able to go back home, so I do feel for them, and I know that I'm very lucky.
Yeah, and there's you talk about your bands, Chrome Dog, and how is that? And it's bare, like you reveal your soul.
I suppose, yeah.
And I think it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay.
Definitely, I think so. And I think all of us human beings have that in common. And so I'm pretty sure that even though maybe someone else doesn't feel like they can share their story, and so I'll share mine instead, and then maybe they'll be satisfied.
They'll follow.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show, and I'd like to have you come back.
I would love to come back.
Thanks for watching. If you have a question or comment about today's show, go to our website on the screen. Until next time, run with it. Run With It is sponsored by Be Well TV, Firma Energy Wear, Hype Hair, Mallory's Fashion Network, Nike Canada, Vancouver Eastside 10K, and West Coast Wellness and Skin Health Center.